Tonight, we report on a wildfire along Interstate 90 near George and the fire at Inland Tarp in Moses Lake. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Well, Amber, the Spuds return from state baseball action. The Apple Sox close out their series with Kelowna, and a fundraiser for former Moses Lake High School standout athlete Brett Mosier is being held tomorrow night. Let's take a peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Cooler temperatures are expected, especially for the second half of the work week, and some disturbance along northern parts of our state. How will that impact our area? I will have more details for you in just a bit.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFiber One News.
From the iFiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFiber One News, and it starts now.
A wildland fire burning near George spread through 500 acres and continued to grow Monday afternoon. It was between 30 and 40% contained on Monday, but the fire expanded and was moving toward George, jumped Interstate 90, and triggered more evacuations. Firefighters from Grant County and the Bureau of Land Management have crews fighting the fire near I-90 and Silica Road, which began Sunday afternoon. Fire District 3 Chief Don Fortier said no structures were damaged and no injuries were reported. Residents in the Quincy Lakes area were evacuated on Monday afternoon. Deputies and law enforcement went door to door to ask people to leave. The wind-driven fire blew heavy smoke across I-90, forcing police to close the highway and backing up traffic for several miles. The highway was closed again on Monday as the fire spread across the interstate. Traffic sitting on I-90 was told to turn around and leave. High winds on Saturday forced racers off Soap Lake, but the annual outboard regatta was in full swing on Sunday with more than 40 racers competing. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
About 40 racers flocked to Soap Lake RV Campground over the weekend for the annual Soap Lake Outboard Regatta. The race was sanctioned by the Seattle Outboard Association. While the race was postponed Saturday because of winds causing choppy water conditions on Soap Lake, Sunday was another story. Several junior racers ages 9 and older sped over smoother waters during the competition. Trey Marquardt of Puyallup was one of the young competitors in the junior category. He races a junior hydro and runabout. The 11-year-old explained what drew him to boat racing.
Well, my dad was racing at first, then my sister started racing, but I didn't really want to race, but then when I saw my sister, I kind of got interested, and I just felt like I needed to do it.
Many other youth racers said they started competition because it's a family tradition. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
A 24-year-old California man died in a Saturday afternoon crash on Road U Northwest near Quincy. Jesus Hernandez de los Santos was driving a 1996 Chevrolet Blazer south on Road U when he reportedly failed to negotiate a turn and drove off the road. His vehicle rolled 3 times and he was thrown from it. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. He was allegedly not wearing his seatbelt. The sheriff's office reported speed and alcohol appeared to be factors in the crash. 5 structures and thousands of tons of hay burned at Inland Tarp and Liner on Friday near Moses Lake. Reporter Joe Utter has more on what caused the massive blaze.
A fire at Inland Tarp and Liner burned 5 structures, caused a propane tank to explode, and led to Interstate 90 closing near Moses Lake on Friday. According to Grant County Sheriff's Office spokesman Kyle Foreman, the blaze reportedly started when employees in one of the buildings were using a chop saw and a spark or hot material got into something combustible. The employees tried to use fire extinguishers to douse the flames, but it grew out of control. The fire spread to 5 structures and caused a propane tank to explode. The tank traveled about 1,000 feet through the air and started a fire in 11 haystacks to the east. Fire crews had the fire in the buildings extinguished by roughly 3 p.m. 4 of the buildings were destroyed and a 5th was badly damaged. Interstate 90 was closed between State Route 17 and Dotson Road for about an hour because of smoke. No injuries were reported in the fire. This is Joe Utter For iFiber One News.
Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at primetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
Hi everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez bringing you your local weather, brought to you by iFiber One's Inside Look. Watch it tonight on iFiber1.com. Cooler temperatures return for our area, especially for the second half of the work week. We're expecting temperatures in the mid-80s. For tonight, windy and dry conditions. They could gust as high as over 20 miles per hour and low relative humidity. This may result in the potential for rapid fire spread for tomorrow as well. In the meantime, let's take a look at the almanac within the past 24 hours. We started off the morning in the lower 70s. Temperatures remain above the normal for this time of year, and maximum temperatures in the upper 90s. Cooler temperatures than yesterday, however, they're still above the normal for this time of year. Definitely not as hot as that record high of 104 degrees in 1979, and that sun setting at 8:46 p.m. And for Moses Lake, very similar conditions. We started off the morning with temperatures above the normal for this time of year, around 10 degrees above the normal, and maximum temperatures in the upper 90s, almost very close to that record high of 105 degrees in 1979. And right now outside your door, sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-90s and that dew point in the lower 40s. Winds coming through from the west, bringing a little bit of cool air around the area, up to 19 miles per hour, and they could gust over 20 miles per hour. A little bit of cloud cover pushing through for Tuesday around the coastal area. Some showers may be possible along the Cascades, mostly sunny skies for our Columbia Basin. Some cloud cover towards the coastal area as well as towards western parts and eastern parts of our state. And some showers may be possible along northern parts of our state towards the Canadian border. In the meantime, those temperatures around the coastal area, cooler temperatures than towards the Yakima Valley. Yakima Valley in the lower 90s, and towards the Tri-Cities, mostly sunny skies, maximum temperatures in the upper 80s. Cooler temperatures along the inland northwest, those temperatures in the mid-80s. And let's take a closer look along our Columbia Basin. Those maximum temperatures ranging from the mid-80s to lower 90s. Towards Ephrata, lower 90s, as well as towards Royal City with mostly sunny skies, and towards Moses Lake in the upper 80s. Let's take a closer look at our extended forecast for the week. Cooler temperatures return for our area, especially for the second half of the work week. We're expecting temperatures to remain in the lower 90s for Tuesday, for tomorrow, with mostly sunny skies, and then cooler temperatures coming through for the second half of the work week. Sunny skies with maximum temperatures in the mid-80s, and then we return to the lower 90s by the weekend.
The Central Washington Spuds dropped 2 of 3 games at the American Legion State Tournament and were eliminated from postseason play. The team dropped a 5-4 heartbreaker to Bellingham Post number 7 in the opening round Saturday in Kelso. The Spuds took a 4-3 lead into the top of the 5th. Bellingham tied it in the home half of the 7th and then brought home the winning run in the 9th. Chase Tunstall gave up 1 run over 7 innings on the bump, and the Spuds crushed the Bellevue Fightin' 11-1 Sunday morning. Zach Wolf, Cameron Duke, Jaime Vela, and Ryan Pena all had multiple hits in the contest. Game 3 put the Spuds and Bellingham in a rematch Sunday afternoon for the second and final berth to the regional tournament. Bellingham led 3-0 early. The Spuds tied it in the 4th. Bellingham hung 1 on the board in the 5th and 2 in the 7th to win it and bounce the Spuds out of the playoffs. The Wenatchee Apple Sox dropped a close one to Kelowna Saturday night, 1-0. Curtis Taylor went the distance for Kelowna, pitching a complete game shutout while giving up just 2 hits. The Falcons mustered up 16 of their own, but only managed to score 1 run. Michael Taylor pitched well for the Sox, giving up 1 run over 6 innings of work. Wenatchee's defense was strong behind Taylor, converting 3 double plays in the game. Colton Loomis came in for relief and tossed 2 scoreless innings for Wenatchee. Loomis has now thrown 8 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings out of the bullpen. The Sox are back in action Tuesday on the road at Kitsap. Stevie Bryan is returning for his 2nd season with the Wenatchee Wild. Bryan, a 17-year-old left-handed shooting forward from Edmonds, played in 49 regular season games with the Wild last season. Bryan had 8 goals, 14 assists, and 18 penalty minutes. He also appeared in 5 playoff games. The Wild just wrapped up tryouts and will open regular season September the 11th when they hit the road for a couple of games with the Prince George Spruce Kings. The team's first home game is October the 10th. Mosier Strong, a fundraiser for former Moses Lake High School standout athlete Brett Mosier, is taking place at the home of Mike and Krista Hamilton Tuesday evening. Mosier was recently diagnosed with testicular cancer and is currently going through chemo treatments. Family, friends, and community members are invited to attend the event tomorrow night at 11876 Road 4th Northeast in Moses Lake at 6:30 p.m. The cost to attend the fundraiser is $40 per person and includes dinner. All proceeds will help pay for Brett's medical expenses. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Our spotlight story tonight is about Ephrata's annual Basin Summer Sounds with live music, classic cars, and a basketball tournament. Reporter Jeff Chu was there and has the story.
Basin Summer Sounds, Ephrata's biggest annual music event staged at Grant County Courthouse's steps, drew thousands over the weekend. Besides quality music, you could catch some shiny classic cars on a closed section of Basin Street and get your fill of fun food from the street vendors. On Saturday, 3 blocks of C Street were closed off for the Rotary Club's Rim to Rim 3-on-3 basketball tournament and fundraiser. You could even throw some horseshoes, get a temporary tattoo, or have your face painted if you like. Several popular groups, including headliner the Greg Raleigh Band, had the crowds rocking on the courthouse lawn.
Nice to be out here on a nice night.
iFiber's Inside Look host Cody Johnson interviewed Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Greg Raleigh, a founder of 2 iconic San Francisco Bay Area bands, Santana and Journey. Raleigh, who grew up in Seattle, has also toured with former Beatle Ringo Starr and his all-star band.
I was with the right people at the right time and playing the music I loved. So, especially Santana, it was like the first stuff I did. And so it's like a firstborn. And that's what this band does. We play that and music like it that I've written.
The veteran singer and songwriter revealed some good news.
I've gone back to do Santana, as a matter of fact. Santana 4 which is it's the original members of Santana. We just finished recording stuff. So that'll be out hopefully in 2016.
On a warm Ephrata night, Raleigh's band closed the festival with some still hot Santana tunes. Just down C Street from the courthouse, boys and girls of all ages beat the streets with a round ball, competing in the Ephrata Rotary Rim to Rim 3-on-3 tourney. Jennifer Deshane, who helped coordinate the event, said 42 teams competed this year.
So it's the most teams we've had since we've taken it over.
Deshane said money raised at the tournament goes to Rotary education projects to benefit local youth. She said the tournament has grown in popularity since Ephrata Rotary took it over 3 years ago.
It's a group of younger people that are kind of getting more involved in this type of stuff, so the numbers have grown a little bit. We have good support here.
Over on Basin Street, it was all show and shine as some 100 classic and antique cars and trucks lined up, glistening in the sunlight. Show and Shine representatives said more than 100 cars were on exhibit from throughout the Northwest. Several acts, such as the Joy Mills Band and Cloverdale, hit the stage with their down-home music.
We're a small and mighty crowd.
Tacoma's Dr. Funk brought rhythm and blues to Ephrata, featuring a big horn section and a big sound to go with it. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. A man is serving more than a year in prison after stealing a neighbor's truck and fighting with Soap Lake police officer. Oscar Ramirez Reyes, a 28-year-old Soap Lake man, pleaded guilty in 2 Grant County Superior Court cases to charges of possession of methamphetamine, theft of a motor vehicle, assault, and resisting arrest. Ramirez Reyes has 3 previous convictions for residential burglary in 2013 and was sentenced to a year and 2 months in prison. Ramirez Reyes and a 15-year-old girl were spotted shoplifting at a Soap Lake grocery store and a gas station in February. After being banned from the store, he returned. He threw something at a police officer trying to write him a ticket and struggled against being arrested. Ephrata High School is expected to have 2 new science labs ready for the start of the upcoming school year. Construction began June 20th on the labs and is on schedule to be completed in September. According to the district's facilities manager, Rock White, the district is remodeling an older lab and converting previously unused space into a second lab to meet science curriculum requirements. Wenatchee-based Whitebird Construction Company won the bid for the project earlier this year. The project is costing the district roughly $300,000, and there are plans to update 2 more science labs at the high school during the 2016 summer break. In Northwest news, 2 brothers rescued a woman from her burning car in Oregon. The car hit a gas pump at a gas station and burst into flames. CNN spoke with the 2 men and has a story.
Oh my gosh, did you guys get everyone just...
She's gonna die if we don't help her.
That's what went through the minds of 2 brothers as they watched a wicked fireball tearing through this car. Inside, an elderly woman banging on the passenger window, yelling for help.
We have to get her out of there really quickly before the whole car gets taken over.
Another bystander couldn't get the door open. Felipe jumped out of Rafael's moving car.
He just got out of the car, left the car like rolling.
Still photos show him running to her aid.
And I told her that I was gonna break the glass to get her out.
Through smoke and intense heat, he took a swing.
And I was like, this might hurt, but I just have to pull her out.
Breaking the glass with his bare hand.
I punched it, and then I like reached in, I grabbed her by the shoulders, and I kind of just like picked her up and took her out.
Moments later, video showed the front seats filled with flames.
Like a lot of people in society don't react to things like that. My brother, he said it was kind of a test for him, and like in his mind he passed.
Felipe didn't care that his hand showed some battle scars from the rescue.
So if you didn't take her out, the outcome would have been way worse. It feels good to help another citizen.
Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue calls him a hero.
I was really trying not to think and just to get her out of there as quickly as I could before anything gets worse. And thank God it all worked out okay. She was really shocked. I saw her later when I was getting attended by the paramedics, but she said thank you and gave me a hug.
That's going to do it for us here at iFiber One News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.